Hi again. Back again. No, I just forgot to type the title in with the EIM Daily. So we're gonna start over. Hopefully some people come and see this. Cause I just was watching something and I just kind of felt a need to come on. After kind of watching part of what I watched. I hope that makes sense, y'all. So I might not be on super late. Like a super long time. But I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes and hopefully some people come on, at least I can like in the chat. But thank you all for joining, and if anybody will be watching the after stream, thank you for watching the after stream. But like I said, I was watching this show and I was like, I just felt a need to come on because pretty much it was how religious leaders at times, kind of in the Bible, wash out for the wolves and the sheep's clothing. Kind of, and again, not all religious leaders are this way. Because I mean, I'm Catholic, I go to church, but not all church leaders are actually disciples of God. And kind of what I was watching showed that. And it just really made me mad. I mean, in a way, because I'm like, if you're a preacher, if you're a disciple of God, but you're twisting the Bible to have it look like, well, I'm a disciple of God, and you know, and you use the Bible and kind of like what in this group was a cult for sure, but just different things like teaching little kids, if you don't obey your parents on the first time, you are gonna basically have a long, horrible afterlife. And I don't know about you all, but I mean, I wasn't a horrible kid, but I didn't 100% always listen to my parents. I think that's normal, you know. But to tell little kids, okay, if you don't, the first time you don't listen to your parents, you're gonna, in the afterlife, basically burn in hell for eternity. That's wrong. Totally, completely wrong. And then also too with this, it was like, okay, if you're changing the diaper of a child and the child is wiggling, you spank the child. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if any baby or that doesn't wiggle when you're changing the diaper. And to me that doesn't mean that you spank the child. It just. And then also too, it was what else? What else? That yeah, if, the child is being wiggly, during the service, or is crying uncontrollably before the service, you hit the child until you keep hitting the child until they stop crying, and then go into service. I'm like, no. It's just but all of this was, if you're not being obedient to the leaders, if you're not being obedient to your parents, you are not being obedient to God, and you will go to hell. So therefore, spanking the children until they become like robots or until they stop crying, that will teach them to behave. No. It just kind of made me mad, to say the least. And like I said, again, it's wolves in sheep's clothing. And, and I'm like, yes, obedience, but there's a way to do it. You don't like, okay, let me spank the child 30 times to have them learn obedience. No. You know? And it was, yeah, in this too that, 6-year-olds had permission to discipline 2-year-olds. And I'm like, okay, why? How does that make sense? A child discipline a child. And the discipline meant spanking. So yeah, it just, like I said, just kind of made me really mad. Because that is totally twisting the Bible. What else? Oh, and then the other thing too in it was that if you suffer from depression and anxiety, you will get sick enough of it that the depression and anxiety will just go away with no medication, no counseling. You will just get so sick of it controlling your life that you just stop the medication counseling and it will just stop. Yeah, right. And it just was kind of like, okay, come on. But yeah, it just kind of made me mad, because I'm like I said, I am Catholic and I go to church and I don't care what religion, what faith you are. If anybody, uses the Bible to justify, certain behavior, and this was definitely a cult, the show, because the people had to ask leaders permission to go on vacation, had to ask leaders permission to go to family members' weddings, had to ask the church leaders permission to have to visit their families, had to give the church leaders their passwords to their emails, social accounts, to make sure. And the church members were also taught, okay, if somebody is questioning the leaders, they are not being obedient, they are not being good followers. Hi, Scrap Dog. How are you? And it just was like, okay, that's not right either. Because, I mean, to me, God can handle our questions, our doubts. So, but yeah, thank you for coming, Scrap Dog. But no, I just was watching this TV show, and it was definitely about a cult. But basically, how the leaders twisted the Bible to, twisted the Bible to their advantage. Where it was like, like kind of like physical abuse. Oh, that's okay. Hey, I understand. Sometimes Sorry for the shakiness of my hand. But no, I get it. I do good, but I am getting older, but hey. To me it's either get older or pushing up daisies. So I'll take getting older. But so anyway, but yeah, it just was kind of like how how different maybe church leaders misuse the Bible, kind of like. And again, I don't know if you've been listening the whole time, but this was definitely a cult they were talking about, but it was kind of like, okay, a child is crying before service. You beat the child until the child stops crying and you go in the service then. Another thing, like, a child had different psychological problems, was hiding knives under the bed, was threatening to kill their sibling. So no, you don't go to counseling, you go to the church leader. And I'm like, obviously there had to be some stuff going on because that's not normal kid behavior. But yeah, it just struck me. Kind of, and that's why I put the title, Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. So, and I'm not saying all church leaders do this, this was definitely a cult. So, but it just was like crazy to me. Just crazy. So, and it actually kind of honestly too made me cry a little bit too, because again, I'm thinking of it, as a religious person, somebody using the Bible to manipulate others. And then the whole thing with the couple and the kid, I mean, they actually listened to this cult, didn't seek, any kind of licensed counselor, any kind of adolescent counselor, any kind of licensed family therapist, any of that stuff. And then two of their kids died at their hands. And it just, and I have my degree in counseling, so I'm also thinking as a counselor, that's just, these two kids could have maybe not have died if the church leaders would have been like, okay, we can talk to you, but I think, you guys need to go to some counseling, that your child needs help, some professional help. You guys need some professional help. We can talk, but, something more than just us talking probably needs to happen. So, anyway, but yeah, it just, as I can say, it kind of riled me up some. So, sorry if I'm going off on a tangent, y'all, but, sometimes if something like strikes me passionately, I kind of have to speak a little bit about it. That's just me. So, but are you still here, Scrap Dog? And I know I see like two people it says watching. I know I kind of like, I know I don't really schedule a lot. Sometimes I just do things on the fly, and that's pretty much how I've been doing my lives now. But anyway, I don't know, it just like really got me thinking, that just because somebody's a church leader doesn't automatically mean that they're actually a disciple of God. And God can handle your question and, your questions, your doubts. Because to me, God doesn't want us to be mindless followers that just, be yes, 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 you know, all the time. So, at least that's just kind of my thinking. But anyway, I hope I'm not like boring y'all. It's just like I said, sometimes I have a passion about stuff and I just have to like speak my mind, talk it out. That's just me. Again, sorry if this is shaky. I'm holding it with my hand and my hands just kind of shake sometimes, so. But like I said, that's about it. Let me see. So what has everybody been up to? I haven't been up too much, honestly, around here, because, well, today the temperature, like, felt like outside, I think, 20 degrees. So we were on a heat wave today. Yes, you can tell I'm from that I live in the north if we consider 20 degrees a heat wave. And then we're having car issues, so I technically have not been out of the house since Monday. But tomorrow I am going out of the house. Because I'm getting a little stir crazy, y'all. But anyway. So yeah. So like I said, nothing, I mean, it just really affected me. Excuse me, and made me think, so. That's what kind of why I wanted to get on. Oh, yep. Okay, yeah, I'm in Indiana, so yep. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, like I said, I mean, it's not as cold as it had, like, it's not as cold as it like has ever been here, but still, I like the snow and the winter weather to look at, but not be out in it. But I live in Indiana, so we're gonna have winter weather. We're gonna have snow. We're gonna have cold weather. Just like Wisconsin too. I mean, in Wisconsin, you can't get away from the winter. So you just kind of put up with it. And if you are an absolute winter fan, you love this time of the year. If you're not that much of a winter fan, you just kind of put up with it. So, you just kind of do. So, but I know this is kind of short, but I'm gonna get going now because I've kind of spoke my mind. And I have to be kind of get into bed because I have a little bit of an early morning. Not super early, but early for me. So, I hope I didn't bore you all. But like I said, just be careful of those wolves in sheep's clothing. Because God can handle your doubts and questions. And it's totally okay to like be like, okay, if your church leader is saying this, does this go with the Bible? And don't rely on just them saying that it does. I hope that makes sense. But thank you all for watching. Thank you, Scrap Dog. And I think, yeah, I know Scrap Dog, I believe you have a channel. So y'all check out Scrap Dog. So, and thank you for whoever else is watching. Thank you for watching, like those who might be watching the replay. Thumbs up if you all don't mind. You all be safe out there. And thank you again. And see you all later. Thank you again, Scrap Dog. Bye.